In this video, I'm going to share how to make a very simple hot honey recipe. We love to have this on hand. It's a great addition to some of the recipes you already make. Ingredients you need, first one is honey. You're also going to need apple cider vinegar. It's a really simple recipe because there's only 4 ingredients. You're also going to need crushed red chili pepper flakes. And last up, you're going to need salt. Next up is the equipment that you're going to need. You're going to need a saucepan because this is going to be heated on the stove top. You're also going to need a 1 cup measuring cup. You're going to need something to measure out a tablespoon and also a teaspoon. And then you're going to need something to measure out an eighth of a teaspoon. You're also going to need something to mix it, so I got a spatula. And last up, I have my recipe card. And once it makes it onto one of these recipe cards, I know that I like it and I keep it in my recipe book. I know that I tested it and it's successful. So once you get your saucepan, you're going to measure out 1 cup of honey and put it in the saucepan. Usually, if I'm measuring honey, I would spray the measurement like cup with some spray oil so it releases a little bit more easily. But this time I didn't. I just measured it, and it's 1 cup. It's going to go directly into the saucepan. Um, After you combine all the ingredients, you're going to be putting it on the stove top and you're going to let it simmer. And that takes about 15 minutes. Actually, you don't even want it to simmer. You want it to get just below a simmer. You don't want it to boil. Just really need to have a chance to have the salt dissolve and to have the apple cider vinegar kind of cook off some of the excess moisture and allow some of that crushed red pepper to get mixed in as well. So making sure not to waste any of it. I'm gonna scrape it in the pot and then I'm gonna combine the rest of the ingredients together. One of the most popular ways we use this in the household is we put it on pizza. It's really delicious on pizza. Another thing that I like to do with it is I make a really simple feta wrap. I'm going to include just a short tutorial on how to make it later on in the video. And it just has such a great combination with anything creamy. You could put it with cream cheese. If you want to have like a creamy, sweet, and spicy type of a dip, that would be great. It's really good to have if you had it even with like rice and butter and you put just a little of that on top. And you could see how simple it is to make. You just put it all in the pot and you're gonna let it simmer. And I don't know if you noticed, but when I measured out that salt, I put a little bit more because I had a large grain salt. So I let it cook and you could see how liquidy it is. It's now thinned out a little bit more, and I keep it in a jar in the cupboard, and that's where it stays. All of this stuff is really shelf stable. Honey lasts forever. Same thing with vinegar, salt, and chili peppers. So I've never ever had it go bad, and it stays there for a while. The longer it sits, though, the spicier it gets. So yeah, it's just heads up for that. And this year, I'm going to make some of these for Christmas gifts for people because whenever I have people over for dinner and I offer it as an option, they really like it as an addition. And it's one of those types of gifts. I think, it's homemade. People really appreciate it. Plus, if you go to buy this at the store, like hot honey is really expensive. So it's a think it's something that people would appreciate. So this is when the hot honey is still hot in temperature, and you could see how it's like just a little bit more liquidy, more watery, I guess. So when it cools down, it does get thicker, but since there's some of the apple cider vinegar in there, it's still not as thick as a regular honey. You could serve it on things with a spoon. It's easy enough. So here's the really simple recipe that I make fairly frequently. I make them and sometimes put them in the freezer so that way you can have them on demand. So I just have a piece of feta, probably less than an ounce worth, and I put it on a flour wrap and just breaking it up a little bit. This is a really simple version. If you wanted to make it even more tasty, you can add some cream cheese to it and um, other cheeses as well. So I put a little bit of the hot honey in there and then fold it up. Like you can wrap it just like you would wrap a burrito, and you just want to make sure that you fold in the ends nice and tight because you don't want the honey to seep out. I'm going to put this in a air fryer, and you could eat this raw. So when you're thinking about how long to cook it, I'm going to also put a little bit of that Sprite oil on there as well. When you think of how long to cook it, you just need to cook it to the desired crunchiness that you want the tortilla. So I just got it to the point where it changed color a little bit. It was crispy. It was nice because it was in the air fryer, and that's delicious. You can bulk make them. You can make like 20 of them, put them in the freezer, and you'll have snacks on demand. So I'm really happy with this hot honey. I hope that you try it because it'll save you a lot of money if you buy the regular stuff. Also, I want to show off that little bouquet of flowers. Aren't they cool? All right. Well, I hope you have a great day and give it a try.